Hello, in today's video we will be going over the abdominal viscera of the domesticated cat. This will be good review for everyone for Wednesday's practical and for general purposes in reviewing abdominal anatomy. To delve right in, you can see right here we have the liver. In this case, in the cat, is made up of multiple lobes, as with many other mammals. You do not need to know the identities of the individual lobes, but take into consideration that this entire structure is indeed the liver. Moving on, we will peel the liver back, so to speak, to reveal the stomach. Now, the stomach is easily identified by the fact that it is the major container in the digestive tract, and it is connected to the duodenum as well as the esophagus. The junction between the stomach and esophagus is not clearly shown in this case, but we will get to that in another video. Connected to the stomach are the two omenta, the greater omentum and the lesser omentum. Now, the greater omentum is connected to the greater curvature of the stomach. And when you first open up your cat, you'll find that the greater omentum is over the small intestines. As for the lesser omentum is connected to the lesser curvature of the stomach and is actually connected to the duodenum, the liver, which my fingers are holding back at the moment, as well as the lesser curvature, as I mentioned before. Now, moving on to the small intestine, we will peel back the greater omentum to reveal the small intestines. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the beginning of the small intestines is defined as the duodenum, which is connected to the stomach. So we'll peel this back to reveal the stomach, and you can see right here, this is indeed your duodenum. Now, the duodenum goes in sequence to the jejunum and the ileum. Now, I'm not going to try to demarcate the difference between the jejunum and the ileum for the purposes that you cannot do so anatomically. The differences between the jejunum and ileum are more physiological than they are anatomical. So, but you do need to know that the order of the small intestine goes duodenum, jejunum, ileum. So moving on down the digestive tract, you will find the ileum, which is connected to the colon. So we can see right here that this right here, which my fingers are touching, is your ileum, and this is the ascending portion of the colon. Now, this right here, this little juncture between the ascending colon and the ileum is the cecum. It contains the ileocecal valve, which you do not need to know, but it's important because in humans it contains the appendix, and it is the demarcation between the large and small intestine. Now, the portions of the colon are pretty distinct. You have the ascending portion of the colon, you have your transverse portion of the colon, and you have the descending portion of the colon. The descending portion of the colon will end up as part of the rectum, and we have split the pelvis in this case to indeed show that the descending colon transitions to the rectum and eventually the anus of the cat. Now, in terms of going back to the abdominal cavity itself, you'll find against the left wall of the abdominal cavity, you shall find the spleen. This is part of the spleen right here. and these are two more parts of the spleen. In this case, the spleen is kind of in pieces, but it is indeed one continuous piece of organ. Moving on to the pancreas can be found by moving back the greater omentum and looking for a little area which is different in color, and this is it right here, this portion, and you can easily identify it by touch. It is a bit firmer, and it should be gray in color. In this case it's a light pink. I'm sorry if it's out of focus, but the pancreas is on the is located dorsally of the stomach, and it is a bit firmer than the very soft fatty portion of the greater omentum, and so it is this area right here. And last but not least, you have the mesentery. The mesentery suspends the ileum and the jejunum from the posterior wall of the abdominal cavity. The mesentery is quite predominant throughout the intestine, but to give you a brief example is this fine little webbing right here, which holds all your mesenteric vessels. And that, in a nutshell, is the abdominal viscera of the domesticated cat.